Good morning. It's June 23rd, also known as the Midsummer. It's one of the longest days of the year, and apparently it gears up to be one of the hottest days of the year. It's been a heat wave in Europe with above 30 degrees for the entire week, and today supposedly culminates with plus 34 heat. It's not something too crazy that you might experience in other areas of the world, but it's been discomforting enough. So I thought, why not make a movie about it? Let me take you through my day and show you how I deal with that kind of heat. But first, let's go running. It's 6 a.m. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful morning. The sea is calm. There's almost nobody here. Actually, that is my first tip. Train in the morning. It's now 22 degrees, much cooler than it will be throughout the day when it's 34 and high humidity. Now it's at least bearable. It doesn't stress you out as much when you go running when it's 34. So let's go. One important thing to remember about training in the heat is that it slows you down. There is more environmental stress on the body. Logically, it's hotter. In my case, it's also humid. And when it's that hot, body needs to work hard to cool itself down. So instead of putting the energy and water into working muscles to run more effectively, it's essentially moving that energy to cool itself down. Less energy available to run properly. And that's okay. It's nothing to be worried about. It's just a good thing to remember. One way to go around this problem is to train using heart rate. In that sense, heart rate is perfect to manage all of the stresses at once. It doesn't only reflect how hard you're going, it also reflects how well you've slept, how well you've eaten. For example, when you're training on empty stomach, you'd have less energy after fasting, so your heart rate might be a bit higher. And in case of today, my heart rate is also a bit higher, which is why I'm slowing it down. Also, running on dry sand is very hard, which is why I'm so out of breath. However, while it's hard to run on sand or trail or dirt, it is very good when you're just starting out or when you're ramping up the miles like I do. It's much less impactful. You can log in more miles without feeling too much strain on the body. When you have aerobic base, it's easier for you to slow down because you have more room to slow down too. My training pace is around 5 minutes per kilometer, so I can slow down to 5:30. It's still a comfortable run for me. For someone whose training pace is 6 or 6:30, you need to slow down all the way to the walk. I'm talking so much to the camera while I run today. I really hope the wind doesn't disturb it. Let me know. Five and a half kilometers at 5:25 pace. Easy zone 2. I like to keep it short and easy during the heat wave. Train typically until the first sign of fatigue. With all of the running on the sand and talking, I feel 30 minutes is enough. One thing I like to do in the mornings and during the day when it's hot outside is to do a cold exposure and the Baltic Sea is definitely a good place for that. Looking at the beach to make sure nobody steals my stuff. Water was 17 degrees when I was running yesterday. Today I ran past the lifeguard tower, it was 15 degrees. I don't feel it is that cold, but swimming in the Baltic Sea you definitely need to have some courage. Because it is colder, it's definitely not Mediterranean or, I don't know, Indian Ocean. It takes forever to get to a place when it's chest deep. So by the time you get there, takes you several minutes, you lose all of your willingness to go to swim. But when we use cold exposure, we reduce the body temperature a little bit, but it's much easier for the body to navigate the rest of the day. If you don't have a cold sea next to you, like I typically do, I don't always live here, then you can use cold showers. That's my alternative when it gets hot. You gradually reduce the temperature of the water so that your body can adjust to it gradually. And then you end the shower session with just 1 minute under cold water, and that will produce similar effect. But more importantly, also exposing yourself to cold teaches the body how to thermoregulate better when it's hot outside. Ironically, when it's very cold, it teaches the body how to optimize itself better when it's also hot. I think it's enough. Try it out. It takes a while to get used to it, but once you're used to it, it's a great and very effective way how to deal with the heat. The best part about submerging yourself in cold sea for a few minutes is walking back home when your body is cold but it's very warm outside. This is a traditional thing that we wear on our heads during the Midsummer. It's made of oak leaves. There's a lot of things going on, a lot of celebrations, but that's not until afternoon. And until then I have quite a lot of work to do still. Also, I switched to this other camera from the GoPro. All of the videos from later today will have a better picture. We kick off the Midsummer celebration with a very nutritious lunch. Rice, salad, zucchini, quinoa, patties, vegan sausage, traditional kvass, which tastes a bit like beer. It doesn't have alcohol and it's much tastier. Enjoy! It's past 11, the sun has set, the party seems to be just getting started. To get the full experience of Midsummer, you need to wait for the first rays of sunlight, you need to jump over the bonfire to have all of your sins forgiven, but I have to wake up early, so I'm calling it a night.